Now, as a co-host on Video Music Box, I know a thing or two regarding the role the media played when it comes to the globalization of hip-hop, since many artists from the golden age of hip-hop made their debuts on our show. If you're from Forest Projects, you know who Full Eclipse is, right? Of course you do. Of course they do. Throughout the years, everyone has learned about hip-hop through media, whether it was on the radio, in magazines, or on TV or film, and we're about to hear about the role all of those mediums played in growing this genre over the past 50 years. I'll be talking with my brother, Ulysses Terrero, in a few about the doc he directed called Hip Hop Por Siempre, a film that focused on the global effect that gave Latinos hope and opportunity in every facet of hip hop and music.
But first, I'm sitting down with Tuffy again, along with the founder and original host of Video Music Box, the one and only Ralph McDaniels.
Everybody's uncle.
Thanks for coming back, Ralph. So what do you think about my new co-host? How do you fare off?
He's excellent. He's doing an excellent job. I'm very proud of him. I mean, you know, he's been around the sets a couple of times, so he should know what to do. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. I feel co-signed.
So Ralph, tell us what role TV has played in telling the history and the story of hip hop.
A big role, because prior to TV, music videos and documentaries, the only way we knew about some of these artists and the culture was through magazines or hearing it on the radio. So we had to use our imagination to go past that still to see what was actually happening, or our imagination to listen to that radio and paint a picture of what that is in our mind. When the TV started getting involved and you started seeing, you know, more Latinos and on TV shows and programs, on the Johnny Carson show in the 70s, and late night shows were really probably an introduction for many big stars back then. Soul Train, even Dick Clark's American Bandstand was the beginning of seeing, you know, like, who's Tony Orlando and Dawn? It's a big record. Oh, it's a Spanish dude? Where he from? Mexico? Where, you know, you thought about that for a second, you know? But that was the beginning of seeing these artists and, you know, getting to hear them talk. It's, you know, it's one thing to hear you sing. When you see somebody talking in their own language, that's a different thing.
Tuffy, what are some of your fondest memories of hip hop on TV?
Wow, I'm still thinking about Tony Orlando. I love that whole aspect because these are the people who made it possible for all of us.
Yeah.
Movies like Juice, movies that, you know, had, you know, Beat Street and Wild Style, which were great, no question. But the whole idea of watching films and watching people who look like me made the difference in everything I wanted to do. As an actor, as a casting director, as an entertainer, any opportunity to see me on screen was a blessing. You know, Yaphet Kotto was one of the first real dark-skinned actors you saw on television. And it doesn't get much darker than him. But then we have a Flavor Flav in hip hop who's that same complexion, and you're blessed by it. Shabba Ranks in reggae music. So you love that they've given us the opportunity, and it's sad to say they have given us the opportunity, but we've taken the opportunity. And there are a lot more Latinos in the game, not just from West Side Story, not just Rita Moreno, and although they also did not give a lot of Latinos all those roles, but we started taking them, and now we're creating that content.
So Ralph, you did a hip hop show before it became popular on mainstream television.
Yes.
Many people know MTV, but MTV Raps debuted in 1988, 5 years after you guys premiered. So how did you feel that your show advanced the careers of not only hip hop artists, but Latino hip hop artists in particular?
We were all looking for something to focus on TV that looked like us. So if it was me talking, if it was Tuffy, if it was me interviewing you at the Magic Show in Vegas, whatever it was, we were looking for people that looked like us. And so if it was J-Lo sitting home watching Lisa, she got something from that. Lisa, we skip over her. She's a major star, you know.
Lisa before J-Lo. That was our J-Lo of our generation.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. And it wasn't just for kids that were from the Latino community. It was for everybody. If you went to hip hop, if you went to New York culture, everybody was watching. You know, if you came from Pakistan, if you came from Nigeria, Ghana, wherever you came from, this is what Video Music Box did. It made you know how to dress, know how to talk, know how to act. Because when you came from these different places, you wanted to fit in. You didn't want to seem like you were from somewhere else. You didn't want people to know that, you were from a Dominican Republic, you were from, wherever, Nigeria. You wanted people to feel like, oh, he's just like us. They would study Video Music Box and go, okay, if I talk like that, I can fit in.
Say that.
And people won't realize that I'm not, from here. I wasn't born here. And that made the transition for many immigrants smoother. Because kids are tough. They'll make fun of you. They'll make fun of your accent. They'll make fun of your clothes, your shoes. And it was like, I just got to act like this and I can get away with it.
That's it.
For that little 10 minutes of conversation at lunchtime, and I'm good,
That was water cooler conversation.
Yeah.
They listened to Video Music Box in order to have conversation for the next day.
What made you select Tuffy? And Tuffy, what made you work with Ralph?
Tuffy's sister was the first producer of Video Music Box. She came on board and, she was, my brother's having a party, or we were doing a video. I can't remember. And he came to the set and I listened to him and I realized he had personality. I could see that immediately. I was like, I don't know what he does, but he has personality. And I'm good at that. Like I swear, Cardi B, before she made, I didn't even know she could rap. But as soon as I saw her, I was like, she's going to be somebody. I don't know what it is she's going to be, but she's going to be somebody. And I saw that same thing in Tuffy and others, because the TV is not about us. It's about what we're funneling back out that makes us important.
On that note, thanks for joining us, Ralph.
We'll be right back with more on the Hip Hop Subway.